I'm going to change gears, Trooper Proctor. You personally collected John O'Keefe's clothes from the hospital at Good Sam in Brockton, did you not?
I did. The next day, Trooper DeChico arrived and brought them into the permanent evidence area where only him and another trooper in my office have access to. So they were secured from that at that point.
So you didn't book them into evidence?
I did not know.
When they're booked into evidence, there's supposed to be a log of that, correct?
I'm sorry?
There's supposed to be a log of that when they're booked into evidence, correct?
Yes.
You're the case officer on the case. One of your responsibilities is to make sure that chain of custody is maintained throughout the entirety of the investigation, all the way up to a courtroom, correct?
Yes.
Where's the log of those items being booked into evidence?
There was a chain of custody from when they entered the DA's office, and then when Trooper DeChico created a label for them, but also put them in a secure facility.
Can you show me where that is?
I'm not the evidence officer. I don't have that.
I see. So you didn't bring a log with you of any sort concerning the chain of custody of these items, correct?
No.
As a matter of fact, the reason you didn't bring that chain of custody log is because none exists. Isn't that right?
Objection.
Sustained. Ask it differently.
Does a physical log exist starting from January 29th, 2022 to today?
Yes.
Where's that physical log, sir?
What?
I'm not an evidence officer, so I don't know how that. Yeah. So I don't know how that's generated.
Right. So as a case officer, you have no idea where an evidence log is that has something as insignificant as, I don't know, the victim's clothing.
Objection.
Sustained.
The fact of the matter is, the evidence log attendant to this case regarding those clothing items starts on March 14th when they were taken to the crime lab.
Oh my
correct?
God.
That's when the clothing was transported to the lab.
There's no chain of custody until March 14th. There's no chain of custody till March 14th. There's no evidence log. For a month and a half. For a month and a half. We have no idea where the evidence is.
I want to talk for a second about the searches in Brian Albert's front lawn that took place on and after January 29th, 2022. As the case officer, Trooper Proctor, you also took control of the taillight pieces that were ultimately claimed to have been found at that location, correct?
Not in all searches.
Which of the pieces that were found were you responsible for taking control over?
8th, 11th, and 18th.
So who had control over the items that were found before the 8th? You said the 8th, 11th, and 18th, right?
Those are items that I had found on those days and that I had processed and essentially bagged and tagged them and handed them over to our evidence officer. There was multiple days that troopers were out there looking for more evidence.
So there would be a log of that too, right?
Yeah,
Again, how the system works as far as the evidence comes in, I can't speak to that.
So you have no idea what the chain of custody of any of these items are, the clothing or the taillight material, from January 29th until March 14th, when the evidence log starts. Is that what you're saying?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
There is a log. I mean, it's in our system where labels are created and it generates the time and date that a label is created. And then it shows that it's at our office in a secure facility, and then it was brought to the lab on the 14th.
What happens if the label is created and says something like, I don't know, February 4th? What happens to the items before February 4th?
They were stored in a secured facility, a secured room.
Says who? Where's the log?
Fair.
Sustained.
Fair.
Is there a log of that?
Not to my knowledge.
The taillight pieces. The taillight pieces. At best, there's no log until February 6th. for the taillight pieces. No record, no log. Okie dokie.
You were responsible for seizing Miss Reed's car, correct?
Yes.
And you originally claimed that that seizure took place at 5:30 p.m. Is that right?
Correct.
You signed numerous affidavits under oath claiming that you did not seize Miss Reed's vehicle until 5:30 p.m. on January 29, 2022, right?
Correct.
At the time that you seized Miss Reed's vehicle, you were unaware that there was alarm.com surveillance footage of the area from which the car was seized, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
The fact of the matter is, that was false. The car was not seized at 5:30, was it?
4:16 p.m.
Right. An hour and change, an hour and 18 minutes, hour and 20 minutes earlier. Is that right?
Yes.
Fact of the matter is, you delivered that car to Canton PD, to the Sallyport garage, before a single piece of taillight material was ever found in this case. Trooper Proctor, is that correct?
Correct. It arrives at 5:31.
Yep. Yep. Before a single piece of taillight was ever found. The car had been delivered to the Sallyport. Yep. Cool. Cool. Don't see any problem with that.
And you also towed it to the Canton Police Department because that was conveniently close to the location at 34th Avenue, to the crime scene, right?
That was not my decision.
What do you mean was it your decision?
I don't recall. I know that
Well, you're the case officer.
I wouldn't.
Who decides?
It wasn't my decision. I did not make that call, sir.
So who are we pointing the finger at? Was it Sergeant Buchanan?
Objection.
Ask it differently, Mr.
Sure.
Jackson.
Was it Sergeant Buchanan who made that decision to transport it to Canton?
It's a supervisor's decision. I don't know who it came from.
Was it Lieutenant Tully?
Again, I don't know who it came from.
So you were just following orders.
Yes.
You are aware that Massachusetts State Police, your agency, actually has not one, but two barracks, one in Middleborough, one in Foxborough, that are both closer as crow flies than the Canton PD Sallyport, from where the car was towed, correct?
Yes.
Both of those facilities were passed by, and the car was ultimately placed at Canton PD Sallyport at 5:31 or so, right?
Yes.
Trooper Proctor, you are the lead case officer on this case. That means that you were required to collect and maintain all the videos that were pulled in connection with this investigation, correct?
Correct.
And you obviously are aware of your legal obligation to turn over any and all exculpatory information that you were to come in, that you might come in possession of, correct? But there was additional video surveillance footage that you chose to hold back from that discovery, correct?
Oh, help me.
Objection.
Did you hold back videos?
I did not, Your Honor.
Okay, next question.
Oh, help me.
There's surveillance video from Canton Police Department's Sallyport garage
Oh, help me.
that wasn't turned over, right?
That video was discovered later on and then handed over.
The first time you revealed
What?
the existence of that footage was in that separate proceeding in February of 2024. Isn't that right? You did know, however, that if you had video at the Sallyport, it would clearly show that Miss Reed's vehicle arrived at 5:30, 5:31. Right? You knew that, correct?
Yes, from the driveway camera.
On April 4th, 2024, you turned over one video from the interior of the Sallyport garage, correct?
Yes, sir.
The interior, not the exterior, right?
Correct.
And that, remarkably enough, was a grainy video, right?
Yes.
And that video is missing the precise time that that vehicle was delivered to the Sallyport, correct?
Yep.
Objection.
Was it? I'll allow it.
I don't recall.
It's missing 42 minutes at the beginning, and it jumps from 5:08 p.m. to 5:50 p.m., correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Wow.
Have you reviewed the video?
Yes.
Did you see that the timestamp jumped from 5:08 to 5:50?
Objection.
Sustained.
48 minutes of video missing, along with the ghostly presences in the other video. Nixon has nothing on these people, man.
Did you note that the time jumps from 5:08 to about 5:50 at the beginning of the video?
Yeah, I observed a jump in video.
And that was about 42 minutes, correct?
Approximately, yes.
Yep.
You're aware that there's another video from the interior of that Sally Port as well, correct?
Yes.
The second video from the interior of the Sally Port is inverted, correct?
Yes.
You're now aware of that.
I am.
You're in the video, right? Yes. That's you toward the back of the truck.
Yep, I'm in the video. Some Canton PD members there as well. Tow truck guy drops the vehicle off. He's in the front driver's seat. Exits. Sergeant Mechanic's there. I believe Chief Berkowitz, the retired police chief.
Where was he?
He was kind of like mulling around the area. I feel like he was towards like the back open garage gate there.
The back.
Towards like the rear. Yeah.
Where you were.
Yes.
Was he the person, did you note that there were certain individuals that just seemed to apparate out of nowhere, just appear?
Yes, there was one individual in like the top left corner of the video pushing a broom that kind of just appeared.
And also toward the back of the vehicle, somebody just, while you were at the back of the vehicle, just sort of appeared and walked out of the Sally Port, correct?
Yes.
And was that Chief Berkowitz?
Yeah, it looks like him, yes.
Okay. So you and Chief Berkowitz are both toward the rear of the vehicle. He just apparates out of thin air because the video is missing some footage, correct?
It appears that way,
And you're
or it
holding
skips.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Or it skips. I don't know that system at all, so.
My friends, the sad truth is it can always get worse. I'm not sure how, but I'm fairly confident it will. Is the lesson of this trial. I think aghast was, I mentioned in chat, I was feeling aghast. I think that might be the best word I've come up with so far to describe my overall feeling as aghast. You know, I have a bit of a reverence for law, as you might expect. So it's almost like heresy.
You are unmuted.
It's like heresy. It's what I'm feeling. I'm not a happy camper.